Good evening and welcome to Oriel Park. 10 league games to go for both of these teams. 30 points up for grabs. How many of those will Dundalk need to accrue a secure European football place for 2024? How many will Sligo need to keep the nagging fear of being drawn into the relegation playoff dogfight at bay? Whatever the answer to those questions, 3 points tonight would be a huge help. It's Dundalk versus Sligo Rovers, live this evening on LMFM's online match service and on LOI TV. The crowd starting to filter into Oriel Park for this one this evening between Dundalk and Sligo Rovers. Looking forward to this one. On co-commentary alongside me will be John Flanagan, restored to his regular role after his absence, and we're looking forward to this one, John, this evening.
Should be a great game this evening. As we mentioned earlier on, both sides really looking for 3 points here for different reasons. Dundalk really need to get the 3 points to try and build that momentum and push for a place in Europe, to try and catch those teams ahead of them. Sligo are trying to pull themselves away from a relegation battle and really secure that mid-table position that they can cruise to the end of the season. So a lot to play for both clubs this evening.
Let's have a look at the matches in the Premier Division this evening outside of this one. Cork City taking on UCD at Turner's Cross in the battle of the bottom two. Certainly Sligo Rovers and Drogheda United, those teams ahead of Cork City in the table, will kind of be hoping that UCD can take something from Cork City there. Dundalk here at Oriel Park taking on Sligo Rovers. Shelbourne against Shamrock Rovers in a Dublin derby this evening, and not the only one. St Patrick's Athletic against Bohemians, a really interesting battle there at Richmond Park this evening. St Patrick's Athletic in second, Bohemians in third. That's going to be a really interesting battle indeed, and one that affect Dundalk too. Dundalk looking for one of those European places, be it second, third or possibly fourth, depending on who wins the FAI Cup this season. Let's a look at the league table. Dundalk sitting in fifth position at the moment, 3 points behind Derry City, who have a game in hand of them, in fourth position. Bohemians in third, 5 points ahead of Dundalk, and a further point ahead of Bohemians is St Patrick's Athletic in second place. As regards Sligo Rovers and their positioning, 7th place in the league, while they're well adrift of Shelbourne, 9 points behind Shelbourne in 6th. So really Sligo Rovers looking at the teams below them. Drogheda United just a point below them, and then you have Cork City, the team that everybody's trying to stay ahead of. Well, certainly Sligo Rovers and Drogheda United looking to stay ahead of Cork City, and as I said, Cork City playing UCD this evening could go to 26 points, and that would make things very nervous indeed for the likes of Drogheda and Sligo Rovers ahead of them. We'll have a look at the teams that will do battle here tonight, beginning with the home side. And Dundalk, Stephen O'Donnell, well, he makes 4 changes to the team that drew with Shelbourne here on Sunday. Robbie McCourt, Johannes Ulikoko, John Martin and Cameron Elliott step out of the side. In come Conor Malley, Ryan O'Kane, Daniel Kelly and Pat Hooban. John, we've been in a lot of discussion before the game as to just how that Dundalk back four was going to line up. We initially had a centre-back trio. We had Archie Davies playing at left-back at one point, but that's not the way it's going to go. That's not what we believe.
No, we initially thought that Arch Davis might go over. Then we thought Louis Ainsley, who's played left back before, might slot across there. But just looking at the warm up and how they were setting up, it looks as if Muller's going to play left back with Brownlee, Ainsley at centre back, and then we have obviously Archie Davis, who has been one of Dundalk's main attacking weapons all season, at right back in his natural position. So that seems to be as if the way they're lining up.
We'll have a look at Sligo Rovers 11. And John Martin, he makes 3 changes to the side that lost to St Patrick's Athletic last week. We'll have a quick look at that Sligo 11. Luke McNicholas, of course, the goalkeeper, he's on his way to Wrexham. 18-year-old Conor Walsh comes in for his first start of the season, only his second ever game in the league for Sligo Rovers. Gary Buckley and Caelan Barlow are the others to make way from the team. David Cawley and John Mahan are the beneficiaries. So that Sligo team will line out, we believe, with Frank Levac at right back, John Mahan and Nando Pinecker the centre backs. Niall Moorhan will occupy the left back position. Lucas Browning and Greg Bulger in midfield, David Cawley in front of them, Stefan Radosavljevic on the left hand side, Johan Branifolk, who is ostensibly a right back, he'll occupy the right hand more forward position, and Pedro Marteo, a relatively new signing, Portuguese forward, he will occupy the front forward striking position for Sligo this evening. The Dundalk lineup, as John said, most likely Nathan Shepherd in goal, Archie Davies right back, Hayden Muller and Darren Brownlee the centre backs, Louis Ansley at left back. In midfield, Greg Sloggett, Conor Malley and Daryl Horgan, with Daniel Kelly right side, Ryan O'Kane on the left side and Patrick Hooban through the middle for Dundalk this evening. Just awaiting the emergence of both sides. They are in the tunnel over there. We can see a peek at Pat Hooban certainly, and Sligo also ready to emerge onto the surface here. And well, Sligo Rovers of course won the last time these sides played here at Oriel Park on a scoreline of 2-1, a late goal by Stefan Radasajevic, the difference between the teams on the night. And John Russell and Sligo will be hoping for a similar result here this evening, John.
Yeah, they were excellent here earlier on in the season. A slightly changed team from then. I think that night Will Fitzgerald in particular stood out for me. He was excellent. They had Max Mata up front, who's obviously departed since as well, and Fabrice Hartman was on one wing. They were excellent. And the one thing you know with Sligo, especially when they come here, is that their work rate, especially in around that middle third, is excellent. So give Cawley, Bulger in there, they're going to work their socks off. Dundalk are going to have to be on the metal in the midfield, win that battle, and then hopefully exert their own game on Sligo.
Well, here come both sets of players. Sligo Rovers all in red pretty much, with some striping down the front of the shirt, and Dundalk in their traditional kit, white shirts, black shorts and white stockings. Kick-off a matter of minutes away. One thing I have to say about John Russell, John, just speaking to him before the game, interviewing him, you know, there are difficult questions when things aren't going well for a manager. You know, they've only won twice in 9 games, but I'm always impressed with how John Russell handles himself in pre-match interviews. Yeah,
he's very forthcoming. He doesn't hide behind anything. He's very honest and forthright, and he just tells you as it is. And we mentioned as well, he seems to be a very quiet, reserved personality, but he's done an excellent job with Sligo. I mean, not a lot of managers have faced what he's had to face. He's had 3 league top scorers gone in the last 2 years, 2 goalkeepers leaving midway through his season. He's had a lot to deal with and done really well. The whole club are bringing an awful lot of young players through their academy and into the first team, so he's done an excellent job, and he seems to be very, very honest, and that's what you want from a manager. You don't want these rolling out answers that just kind of hide behind stats and things. He's very, very good and honest, and everyone I feel should be like that.
Well, both captains, and it looks like the Dundalk have to change ends, as they did in the match against KA here in Europe. Referee, incidentally, this evening is Adriano Reale. He was 4th official here for the Shelbourne match on Sunday. It's his first time in full charge of a Dundalk match this season, though. He's taken charge of Sligo 4 times in 2023, but they've yet to collect 3 points under his watch. He last refereed them for their 2-1 defeat to UCD last month. His assistants are Dara Keegan and Kieran O'Reilly, and the 4th official this evening is Mark Lynch. Pat Hooban and the Dundalk players in conversation in the huddle. To our left hand side, Sligo Rovers and David Cawley in their huddle to our right hand side. Adriano Reale just making his way into the centre circle, and it looks like we're ready to go. Daniel Kelly bursts across to this right hand side and applauds the shed side army below us. What will unfold across the next 90 minutes? If you're Sligo Rovers supporters, let us know your opinions, and I'm sure you have plenty of strong opinions at the moment about how the team are doing, about the departure of Luke McNicholas and Max Mata. It's not ideal, that's for sure. Do let us know your opinions on Twitter at Adrian Taff, and the more cleaner ones and the more palatable ones we'll certainly give voice to as the evening progresses here at Oriel Park. And of course, Dundalk fans, do let us know as well what you think of Dundalk's form at the moment as the ball is sent away. First touch of the evening for the young goalkeeper Conor Walsh, making, as I said, his first appearance of the season, his 2nd in the league for the club, thanks to Luke McNicholas' impending departure to Wrexham, and the suspension too of Richard Brush, who was sent off in the FAI Cup defeat to Drogheda at Weavers Park recently. As the cross comes in from that right hand side, dealt with by Archie Davies. Daniel Kelly is racing after that one and has sent that out off of Niall Morahan, who's occupying less than traditional left back position for him. He has played there this season already, and he's there this evening as he sends that one forward up towards Marteo. Here's Conor Malley for Dundalk, gets there before Browning. Radosajevic is onto this now for Sligo, and he's gone down under the challenge of Greg Sloggett. It'll be a free kick to Sligo Rovers. Here's an ex-Dundalk player, Greg Bulger, placing the ball. Free kick to Sligo, which will be taken by Bulger, former UCD, Dundalk, St Pat's, Cork, Shamrock Rovers midfielder. And the Wexford man waiting for instruction, and he gets it, he can take it, and sends it across to the right hand side of the penalty area towards John Mahan. It's well defended there by Greg Sloggett.
Done well, Sloggett there, because Mahan's a big man coming up from the back, and the last number of games in Dundalk, they haven't been dominant at the back in terms of those winning those long balls, winning flick-ons, and they've looked vulnerable.
John Mahan back in the Sligo side this evening. Sat out last Friday night's defeat to St Pat's. Throw in taken by Sligo, who started the game inside the Dundalk half in the opening 2 minutes, and they have the ball again here. That's a mistake though by Mahan, and Daniel Kelly is onto that, and he's got Archie Davies at speed on the right hand side, and he chooses to use the Englishman. Here is Davies looking to wrap his foot around that ball, as he's so adept at doing. Niall Moran is in the way though. Throw in to Dundalk, taken quickly by Davies. Here's Sloggett. Davies again. Dundalk spent some time inside the Sligo Rovers half for the first time this evening, really. Conor Malley. Now it's with the returning hero, Darrell Horgan. Turned 31 yesterday, Horgan. Plenty of football still to give to Dundalk and to the League of Ireland. Here's Bulger now, bundled off it and over it by Greg Sloggett. Free kick to Sligo.
There's a half decent opportunity there for Dan Kelly. He picked it up, and the Sligo back four all over the place. You're kind of thinking, maybe just knock it by Pinecker here and have a go at him, test him, because Dan Kelly, one thing he is, he's rapid, quick.
Matteo can't get that under control. Long clearance away by Darren Brownlee. Made his full debut and league debut against Shelbourne on Sunday. Had made an appearance in the Cup against Shamrock Rovers too. Here's some defending to be done, and it's done competently by Frank Levac. Levac at right back this evening for Sligo Rovers. Estonian international attacker had a strong impact in the second half of last season after arriving from the showgrounds from Levadia Tallinn in July, scoring 4 times in 15 appearances, including 2 in 2 matches against Dundalk. Yet to score in 25 this year though, but much of that down to the fact that he's occupying a different position. Johan Brannefalk, who is a right back, the Swede, playing in front of him this evening. Sloppy by Dundalk. Throw in for Niall Morahan. Here's Nando Pinecker. Darren Brownlee happy to let that beat him. Here's Louis Ansley, Hayden Muller. Now Brownlee again. Greg Sloggett in the right back position, just at the moment with Archie Davies in front of him. Brownlee. Now Ansley. Inside the 5th minute at Oriel Park. Neither goalkeeper tested just yet. Archie Davies in centre midfield at the moment. Now Conor Malley, who's more comfortable in that position. Davies being pressurised, very composed to keep the ball, but gives it away. Niall Morahan gets there before Dan Kelly and puts it out for a throw-in to Dundalk on the right-hand side. This the 248th meeting of Dundalk and Sligo Rovers. Dundalk have won 114, Sligo 76, 57 have been drawn. At the moment, after 5 minutes and 15 seconds, this one is being drawn. 0-0 at Oriel Park for those of you listening on LMFM.ie. Pinecker sends that forward, but certainly Sligo have started on the front foot here, not allowing Dundalk to settle on it. Here's Louis Ansley.
Stephen O'Donnell looks as if he's taken something from the Pep Guardiola playbook tonight, with Alfie tucking inside right into centre midfield, as you said yourself, trying to get an extra man in there maybe to try and combat the strengths of Sligo Rovers in there.
Here's Ryan O'Kane. Gets it for the first time in a menacing position, but goes back to Ansley. Now Malley. O'Kane again. Archie Davies spending a lot of time in midfield, as John said. Here's Malley. Tucks it forward towards Sloggett, who tried to help it on to Hubin. Pinecker was in the way. Daniel Kelly is back to dispossess Radasajevic. Nathan Shepherd making his 60th league appearance for the club. Here's Ansley, and now Muller. Ansley again. Brownlee. It's a good ball to the feet of Hubin. Flicks it on to Kelly. Now Horgan. Muller for O'Kane. O'Kane being ushered away from the danger area. Louis Ansley puts that out through into Sligo Rovers. Stephen and Ailish are tuning in on their honeymoon from the sunny Amalfi coast. Congratulations to both of you. Sligo Rovers throw in. Hayden Muller has it back for Dundalk. Here's Darren Brownlee. Archie Davies, good ball towards Ryan O'Kane. John Mahan with a no-nonsense challenge to send that away into the spar shop beyond the little stand of seats on the far side. Cross in, dealt with by Morahan. Bulger. Dundalk have it again with Conor Malley. Here's Horgan. Malley once more. Greg Sloggett being hassled and harried and fouled ultimately by Lucas Browning. Dundalk free kick, which is taken quickly. Here's Darrell Horgan. Ryan O'Kane. Hubin is in the middle. Daniel Kelly getting up as well. Cross in towards Kelly. Too high for him. Away by Mahan. Flicked on by Radasajevic. Here's Archie Davies. Who's that come off last? The assistant referee says it was a Sligo player. Throw into Dundalk.
He's had a bright start, Ryan O'Kane already. 2 or 3 good deliveries into the box. The Dogs seem to be trying to knock it around centrally and then try and generate space out wide for O'Kane and Kelly.
No free kick to Archie Davies for the challenge from Radasajevic. Play continues and Sligo have it. It's Radasajevic now, left of the penalty area. Conor Malley holding him up. Radasajevic onto the right foot. That's a dangerous ball in, and that's in, is it? Oh, how is it not in? And it's Pedro Marteo at the back post, and how he's missed that, I'm not entirely sure. The ball seemed to arrive to him in slow motion, and he seemed to have all the time in the world to do what he wanted with it, but he put it wide.
It was an excellent ball in. Radasajevic, he's put in a wonderful ball in there, and first of all I think it was Browning went up and he stayed under it, but Marteo coming in at the back post, he had the goal gaping. He's got to put that away.
It was an angle, John, to be fair to him, but
he's got to hit the target from that position. But it was very, very easy from a Dundalk perspective. Great play by Sligo, ball out wide, good ball over the top by, I think it was Cawley, played a lovely little ball over the top, and wonderful cross in.
Superb cross in, but Pedro Marteo still waiting for his first goal for Sligo Rovers, the Portuguese forward, a product of the Benfica Academy. Still waiting for his first goal, but he's had a very presentable opportunity here early on. Inside 10 minutes, still Dundalk 0, Sligo Rovers 0. Here's Hayden Muller now. Muller, Brana Falk backing away. Now it's Brana Falk up against Darren Horgan. Horgan to the feet of Sloggett. Sloggett has Davies to his right hand side. This is Davies. There's a really good cross on him. Davies, if he can get it in, and he can, and it's Daniel Kelly, and it's 1-0. Archie Davies again with the delivery. Daniel Kelly with the finish. It's Dundalk 1, Sligo Rovers 0.
And just like Sligo a couple of minutes ago, good bit of play by Dundalk. Same again, wonderful ball put in by Archie Davies, and this time Dan Kelly's at the back post and simple nod home for Mateo. Just 2 minutes ago couldn't do the same for Sligo, but good play. Darrell Horgan gets it out wide. He just cuts back inside. Lovely little ball into Greg, opens his body and puts it out to Davies, and like he's done all year, this is where he's at his best. Puts in a wonderful little ball, gives Conor Walsh no chance, just dinked it over him. Dan Kelly all alone, simple tap in the back post, and really, really good play by Dundalk. And like they haven't done too often this season, they've actually gone ahead in the game.
Well, Dundalk in front on 10 minutes at Oriel Park, and it's Daniel Kelly with a headed goal. Don't see too many of those. His 4th league goal of the season, Daniel Kelly. And that has Dundalk in the box seat here now. Here's Brannefalk to try and change matters for Sligo. Pins for handball from some Dundalk supporters. Brannefalk still with it. Hayden Muller, though, defending it well enough. And that'll be a goal kick to Dundalk, will it? Certainly the assistant seems to be indicating such.
John Russ will be very disappointed for that goal. Dan Kelly had so much space at the back post. They've 2 big pillars in Mahon and Pinnock at the back, and how he's found so much space for an easy header home.
Well, Sligo have played a significant role in Daniel Kelly's career. His Bray Wanderers, Bohemians and Dundalk debuts all came against Sligo Rovers. And that goal, his 30th in his Dundalk career, Daniel Kelly. And Dundalk in front at Oriel Park this evening. Can Sligo find a response? Pat Hubert, Greg Sloggett, now Archie Davies again. So good at crossing from that right hand side. Just needs half a yard of space, and he found it then. And he found Daniel Kelly with the delivery.
And he does exactly what you want to do from a coaching perspective. He doesn't try and pick out anybody in particular. He just whips the ball into dangerous areas.
Here's Hubert. Greg Bulger is back to get a nick on it, and John Mahon completes the clearance towards Brannefalk. Pedro Marteo can't keep that in play. Throw in to Dundalk. Here's Muller now. Darrell Horgan can't quite hold on to it. Throw in goes the way of Sligo. Sligo, of course, missing Danny Lafferty and Richard Brush for tonight's match. Maybe Richard Brush might have played rather than the 18-year-old Conor Walsh had he been available. Both those players sent off against Drogheda in the Cup recently. Lafferty will also miss the visit of Shelbourne to the showgrounds next weekend. Dundalk free kick. These sides have played twice this season already. Dundalk won the last meeting between these sides at the showgrounds in May. Keith Ward scored the game's only goal on 84 minutes. And here at Oriel in April, Sligo prevailed on a 2-1 scoreline. Max Mata had given the visitors the lead before Rehan Tulloch equalised just before half-time with the follow-up after seeing his penalty saved by Luke McNicholas. Sligo won it though a minute from the end. Stefan Radisajevic, as we mentioned earlier, hitting the winning goal in that game. Here's Brownlee looking for Daniel Kelly. Moran is there though for Sligo. Archie Davies away from Cawley. Davies being pressurised by Radisajevic, and there's a mistake by Brownlee, and he's given it away to Cawley, but he can't. Well, certainly Pedro Marteo can't quite get it on the control.
Yeah, sloppy there from Archie Davies. He made up for his own mistake.
Here's Conor Malley. Now Muller. Ryan O'Kane. Darrell Horgan is on the move, but Frank Levac is in the way. Free kick goes the way of Sligo for the foul by Greg Sloggett, and the referee will have a quick word with the Meath man. Inside the 15th minute for those of you listening on LMFM's online match service. Sligo Rovers free kick. Dundalk free kick now. Louis Ansley takes it quickly. Here's Archie Davies. Made his Aldershot Town debut a year ago this week in August 2022, and a 4-1 defeat at home to Solihull Moors in the National League. This the 60th competitive game of his season since then. Seen plenty of action, Archie Davies, but no sign of tiredness or wear and tear just yet. Here's Morahan poking it back inside. Bulger. John Mahon for Levac now. Browning a little too close to him to offload the ball. Mahan again. Mahan with the long one towards Matteo. That's a clever touch by Matteo. Here's Coley. Coley, what has he got around him? He's got Greg Bulger forward, and he can't quite pick out Radosajevic to his left hand side. Not a good ball by Coley. Good move though by Sligo.
Just a wrong decision by Bulger there. I think he wanted to just take a touch, have a strike, maybe just test Shepherd out. But Sligo just showing that in patches that they can cause Dundalk trouble.
Did a Coley with a cynical little clip on Conor Malley that the referee allows the play to continue. Here's Ryan O'Kane. O'Kane has beaten his man and he's dug out across towards Daniel Kelly. Without the success of Archie Davies' cross from the right, Conor Malley is on the follow-up here. Here's Malley, the back heel is towards Sloggett. Successful challenge in there by Sligo, by Bulger. Cross comes in from Kelly and Ryan O'Kane is at the back post. It's not gone dead yet. Sligo need to clear their lines and they have, only as far as Darrell Horgan. Encouraged to shoot by the Dundalk supporters. Here's Archie Davies. He's gone past Radosajevic but not Morahan. Throw into Dundalk.
Good pass to play from Dundalk on the right hand side here. I think it was the wrong decision from Conor Malley. The little back heel looked good, but he wanted just to take a touch open his body. He had an opportunity to strike and test Walsh in the goal. He didn't take it and it came to nothing for Dundalk.
Here's Davies looking for Sloggett and that ball is broken fortuitously for Sloggett and that's gone off. It's Nando Pinecker, hasn't it? Well, no, the referee says. Goal kick for the visitors. Rory Gilson with a message for you, John. John, you know a thing or two about playing right full, according to Rory Gilson. Do you agree that Archie Davies looks the real deal? Shades of Peak Gannon about him, in Rory's opinion.
Yeah, well, the one thing about Archie Davies is his attacking threat is very similar to Gannon. He's great going forward, bombing forward. I still think, I was talking to Tiernan Mulvena about this last week, and he still thinks as well that he has to just tighten up defensively slightly, but I suppose the modern fullback, that's what you want. You want them bombing forward, creating opportunities, overloads, getting balls into the box. And to be honest, there's nobody better in the league than him at that this year. He's been a revelation for Dundalk.
Here's Horgan popping up on that left wing for Dundalk, carrying it back into some space deep inside his own half of the field. Horgan looking for the chest of Sloggett and he's clattered there as he flicked it on by Nando Pinecker, and that'll be a free kick to Dundalk and a talking to at the very least for the Kiwi. New Zealand international defender Nando Pinecker.
That's one of the ones, the centre halves eyes light up, the ball just drifted in, and he get man and ball, take the whole lot. You're in the halfway line, you're in no danger of giving away anything.
Cork City 0, UCD 0, the latest at Turner's Cross. Greg Sloggett continues with the play. Here's Bulger. Bulger's given that away to Malley. Poor touch by Malley. Matteo lays it off for Radosajevic. Matteo again. Lovely feet by the Portuguese, and he's away from Daniel Kelly. Kelly though gets back and gets goal side and makes things difficult for Matteo. Pat Hubin. No, it's with Horgan. Brannefalk gets a nick on it, and it's Sligo who have it back again. Brannefalk. Clever ball over his shoulder by Cawley, but Brannefalk won't get there before Ryan O'Kane. And Louis Ansley is looking to see that back to his goalkeeper, but a little bit of miscommunication between the two. It'll be a throw into Sligo Rovers.
That's the keeper all day for me. He's the one coming out, he's the one facing it. He's got to be claiming that ball and basically telling Louis Ansley, get out of my way, I'm dealing with this. But Ansley's waiting for the shout from the keeper. It's still not coming. Shepherd's backing off.
And out of that, Sligo Rovers, well, I thought they'd had a corner kick, but it's not. It'll be a goal kick for Dundalk, and we're inside 20 minutes for those of you listening on LMFM, and Dundalk leading by a 1-0 at Oriel Park. Dundalk 1, Sligo Rovers 0. Daniel Kelly with the goal on 10. It's the only goal in the Premier Division thus far this evening. Shelburne 0, Shamrock Rovers 0, St Patrick's Athletic 0, Bohemians 0. The other latest scorelines. Here's Pat Hubin. Hubin forced to turn. Darrell Horgan being hassled and harried by Browning. Now with Conor Malley. Davies is the obvious option right hand side. Davies looking for the run of Daniel Kelly. Pinecker though has spotted the danger and blasts that out of play for a throw into Dundalk right hand side. Archie Davies has a ball already. Gets it back from Sloggett. Davies, Sloggett again. Malley is there. Here's Brownlee. Brownlee. Now Malley. And now Louis Ansley. More space on that left hand side, which Dundalk will try to utilise. Sligo try to close it off, which they've pretty much done successfully. Muller for Ansley once more. The ex-Blackburn Rovers man. Back for Muller again.
Dundalk enjoying plenty of possession at the minute. They're knocking around quite well, but Sligo very happy and very content just to sit off and allow them have it, play them in front of them. It's only when Dundalk play that through ball through the press and move it quickly that they look a real threat.
Hayden Muller was looking for Daniel Kelly, but Niall Moran reads it well. Conor Walsh has given that away to Archie Davies, and Dundalk have the possession once more. Shamrock Rovers have a goal at Talca Park. It's Shelburne 0, Shamrock Rovers 1. Marcus Poom with the goal for the champions. Here's Malley. Muller. Now okay. A little bit of space and a chance to get up ahead of steam now for the youngster, up against Brannefalk with Frank Levac lying in wait behind the Swede. Davies. Niall Moran nips in ahead of Daniel Kelly. It'll be a throw in to Dundalk. Niall Moran, Sligo's Player of the Month award winner for June. In the second year of a 2-year deal he signed at the end of 2021. Here's Sloggett. Ansley. Aaron Callan is watching in this evening. Here's Pedro Marteo up against Brownlee, backing into the Scot. Marteo. Louis Ansley looking to prevent him making progress, and Archie Davies with some composed defending back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, really good play again from Sligo. Mateo that time done really, really well. He's done Ainsley down the side, put a lovely little ball into the back post, and unfortunately for Sligo, he just didn't have anybody coming in early enough from the back post. So Alfie had so much time to chest it back, nice and composed to Shepherd. But if Sligo can get the ball in early to Mateo, he looks a real handful, and he looks as if he's the beating of Ainsley down that side.
Here's Daniel Kelly, he's cannon that one off Niall Moran. Dundalk throw in. That Marcus Poom goal coming on 20 minutes for Shamrock Rovers. Shells 0, Rovers 1. Here's Archie Davies with the cross in. It's come off Sloggett and fallen kindly for Daniel Kelly. Louis Ansley. Darren Brownlee, the furthest player back for Dundalk, and he's on his own 1-on-1 with Marteo. Hayden Muller for Ansley again. Muller once more. Sloggett.
Dundalk just popping it about, trying to draw Sligo out to create some space in behind, but Sligo aren't biting so far. Just happy not to sit back into their shape and wait for Dundalk to cough up possession.
Davies for Kelly. Davies again. Here's Conor Malley. Missed the 1-1 draw with Shelburne on Sunday. First game in which he hasn't featured at some point at least all season. Conor Walsh being closed down by Hubin, just giving the youngster a bit of a scare. Goal kick for the visitors. Pat Hubin made his 450th career appearance against KA in the second leg recently. 14 goals and 6 assists in 22 league appearances against Sligo. Hubin, good record against the Bitter Red. Not had a chance though to produce anything thus far this evening in 25 minutes of play at Oriel Park. There's Davies up against Radisajevic. It'll be a throw into Dundalk. Radisajevic, the Faroe Islander, disappointed with the ball played towards him, showing his frustration. Here's Brownlee. Now Shepherd. Mateo will pressurise him into the clearance. Met by Mahan. Good touch by Radisajevic into the penalty area. 2 Dundalk players ahead of him. It might break for Mateo. Blocked by Ansley. Bulger will try and recycle it towards Radisajevic. Oh, really good effort. Wonderful effort just over the crossbar. Great skill though.
Good play again by Sligo Rovers. Radisovich this time, he knew exactly what he wanted to do, just shape, open his body and just put it into that far top corner, and from here I thought he'd done enough. But lovely little ball by Bolger, but again that's come from Dundalk, trying to overcomplicate things at the back between Brownlee and Shepherd. Shepherd to me looks as if he's lacking a little bit of confidence, or he seems to be not on the front foot, which we're so accustomed to him being. He's on the back foot, looks a little bit apprehensive, and that time he's taking the ball onto his left foot, bad ball into the middle, and Sligo break and almost punish him.
Brilliant effort by Radisovich. Here's Daniel Kelly now. Kelly, Hubens in the middle, just can't get up to the pace of the ball, slightly overhit. Goal kick for the visitors. But Stefan Radisovich just serving notice to Dundalk, as if he hasn't already this season. He did score the winner here, as you said, in April. One of 4 goals this season.
But they definitely set up Sligo to sit back, wait for Dundalk to cough up possession, and then they'll either win it back in the middle, or Dundalk will give it away and they break at pace. And Radisovich looks to have real quality about him, put in a wonderful ball early on in the game, and very unfortunate there, didn't see that nestle in the top corner.
Where would they have got the idea for that tactic, John? You only had to watch KA though, didn't you? The Icelandic team against Dundalk. That's exactly how they played it, across both legs, allowed Dundalk have the ball, and Dundalk showed vulnerabilities, didn't they?
There's a lot of teams have done that this year when they've come to Oriel Park. They've sat in and say to Dundalk, okay, come and break us down, and Dundalk can get into the habit of being slow in possession. There's been a lot of lateral passes and they cough up possession then, and teams break at them at pace. They look very, very vulnerable.
Here's Browning with the shot. An ambitious effort, over ambitious, well over the crossbar. Dundalk goal kick.
Well, as you mentioned yourself a few minutes ago, that when they were pushing on, they left Brownlee 1-on-1 at the back. So when they cough up possession, they're very, very vulnerable to a quick counter attack.
Here's Malley. Now Shepherd. Cork City 1, UCD 0 is a scoreline that Sligo won't want to hear with the way things are going here at the moment. Cian Bargery with the goal for Cork City on 26 minutes. Darrell Horgan fighting for it. Marteo out of play by Ansley. Throw in to Sligo Rovers. Cork can move to within 4 points of Sligo if things stay as they are in both of those fixtures. This one here at Oriel Park, and Cork City taking on UCD. Drogheda United will be looking over their shoulders a little nervously too. Drogheda taking on Derry City on Sunday. Still scoreless between St Pat's and Bohemians at Richmond Park. Shelbourne 0, Shamrock Rovers 1. Heavy touch by Malley. Here's Browning. Brandon Falk is on the move and looking to dig out a cross, and he sent that behind Nathan Shepherd's goal. Game a little flat. Dundalk do have, and they've scored a good goal in the game, but it does feel a little flat here this evening, John, doesn't it?
Yeah, the Dundalk, the intensity's dropped off, and we've said it numerous times this year, unless they're on the front foot and that they're really pushing high and putting a lot of intensity and effort into the game, they can be slow and methodical and not create an awful lot. Sligo are sitting back waiting for the pounce and the counter attack, and because of that there's not an awful lot of chances either end.
John Mahan in aggressively on Greg Sloggett, who's been on the receiving end from both centre halves this evening, and that'll be another goal kick for Dundalk. More frustration for Sligo supporters and their manager John Russell. 30 minutes played at Oriel Park, Dundalk leading by a goal to nil.
You're looking at Hayden Muller there. At times he's caught out of position, he's a little bit slow on the left back. It could be an opportunity for Sligo to get in down that side, but Brandon Falk, he's naturally, I think, a more defensive player than an out-and-out winger who can take advantage of Muller.
Sligo Rovers throw in. Waterford 2, Galway United 1 in the First Division. Cove Ramblers 1, Bray Wanderers 1, Wexford 0, Kerry 1, and Finn Harps 0, Treaty United 0. Pat Hubin fouling David Coley. Here's John Mahon now. Daniel Kelly ensures that ball doesn't reach Niall Morahan. Good work from the Dundalk winger. Kelly again. Now Shepherd. Pynacker with a little push on Pat Hubert. Not spotted by the referee. Here's Malley. Muller. And Ansley. Ansley again. That news that Luke McNicholas is to leave Sligo. Disappointing for Sligo supporters in the wake of having lost the division's top scorer at the time in Max Mata to Shrewsbury last week. McNicholas joining Wrexham. Opportunities for young Conor Walsh and Richard Brush at the other end of his career. Here's Hubert. Now Darrell Horgan checks over his shoulder. He's got Ryan O'Kane out there. This is O'Kane, and he can't quite keep it in play. And Frank Levac will have a throw in for Sligo.
Really good play with Pat Hubin with Pynacker on his back twice. He's linked the play really well, and when it's broke, that's exactly what Dundalk want. But it's a poor ball by Horgan. Ryan O'Kane's made a good run. He wants it in front of him, but he has to check back and then can't catch onto it. It just looks a little bit lacklustre from Dundalk at the moment in an attacking sense. The urgency's gone out of them.
O'Kane. Free kick to Dundalk in a menacing enough position. And certainly a chance to send forward the likes of Darren Brownlee, Louis Ansley, Hayden Muller, all making their way into the penalty area. Greg Sloggett, Pat Hubin, Archie Davies staying back in the centre circle.
So if Brownlee walks any slower forward for his free kick, he'll be just walking, turn around and going back again.
Dundalk free kick. Darrell Horgan, who's somewhat disappointed didn't take the free kick against Shelbourne. John Martin dispelled any disappointment though very quickly with his strike. Horgan will take this one. It won't be a direct strike at goal though. Pat Hubin wants it in the middle, predictably. Horgan, he's put that a high lofted one towards the back posts. It'll break for Conor Malley. Pynacker has left the middle to come out with Malley. Now it's Sloggett. Malley again. Still Malley. Now Davies, he's got time to find the cross. Can he? He can. It's going to break for Greg Sloggett here. Sloggett. And well, it's Pat Hubin still with the ball. Dundalk and Sligo Rovers have seen off the danger, and now it'll be brought clear by Greg Bulger. And now it's with Marteo. On his outside is Branifog. Daniel Kelly, not for the first time in this first half, working back for Dundalk. Archie Davies has been fouled.
That's one definite positive with Daniel Kelly. His tracking back has been superb. He's known for going forward and obviously getting in behind defenders, but his work rate tracking back tonight's been top class.
Here's Horgan, dispossessed. Levac now bringing it away. Just bursts, a little burst of pace to bring it past Hayden Muller and also past Ansley, who's stretched out an arm and pulled him back, and that'll be a first yellow card of the evening for the Gibraltar international.
Yeah, as you think you mentioned yourself earlier on, Levac, he's done so well in Oriel Park before, in that right attacking winger position, that just once he picked up the ball there, as the first up, he just breezed past three Dundalk players, and only for Ansley took the yellow card. He was bearing down in the box, and Sligo had numbers in there.
Free kick to Sligo. And they do have players of menace to send forward in Nando Pynacker and John Mahon. Big physical presences, both of them. Marteo also a tall player. Brana Falk and Radasajevic, the player standing over the free kick, plotting a delivery, and it looks like it'll be the Swede who'll take it. Two men in the Dundalk wall. Just under 10 minutes to go to half time. Dundalk leading by a goal to nil. Sligo looking to change that here with this free kick now. Brana Falk will try and measure across. Pynacker bounces on his toes in the middle. Here comes the delivery from Brana Falk, and it's in towards John Mahon, away by Greg Sloggett. Good header won by the Meath man. Back in again by Bulger. Pynacker competes for it, so there's Darren Brownlee who sends it clear. Morahan back into the mixer again towards Mahon. Tried to flick it on, but finds David Cawley outside the penalty area, and Conor Malley with good strength holds off the experienced man. And here comes Daniel Kelly chasing after this, and Conor Malley felt he was fouled off the ball.
Good battle there with Cawley and Malley. Not usually Cawley comes off second best in those argy-bargy situations, but great strength by Malley. But let's go back to the free kick. It was a really good ball in, and it's amazing how often it's Greg Sloggett in those positions to get up and win those defensive headers. He's invaluable to Dundalk for not a big imposing player. He attacks the ball really, really well.
Brownlee gets up well against Matteo, who makes a complaint to the referee that he was fouled. Play continues. Here's Ansley being pressurised by Cawley again. Dundalk throw in. David Cawley, 31 years of age, in his 10th season at the club across 2 spells, having won the league, an FAI Cup and a Setanta Cup in his previous time. He's a big day tomorrow at the showgrounds when he's honoured by the club with a testimonial. Sligo Rovers team from the first team squad will take on a team of past players like Jason McGuinness, Joey Doe, Alan Keane, Danny North. Kick-off 6 p.m. If you're a Sligo supporter, do get out and support that for a great servant for the club. Here he is again competing in front, the Sligo captain, illegally according to the referee. Sloggett for Kelly. Kelly away from Radisajevic and away from Cawley, and he's found Hubin, and Hubin is okay in left hand side. Kelly's in the middle, Horgan too, Greg Sloggett back post. Good defending again by Frank Levac, and you can see why John Russell fancies him back there.
Done really well, good feet to adjust with Ryan O'Kane. Ryan O'Kane's getting the near full there, just not putting the ball into the box early. But credit to Levac, he adjusted himself really, really quickly, nicked the ball off young O'Kane. Oh, what a ball.
O'Kane, almost a very good ball towards the youngster. Levac will have it again here, and a throw in for the visiting team.
He's played that ball a couple of times, Archie Davis. Now a really good weapon, especially when O'Kane gets in behind.
Sloggett's flick on. Horgan, Hubin, Mahan. Cawley looking to put some sense on things and finds Branafog. Martello, Cawley again. Levac sends one forward towards Radisajevic, who's in off that left hand side, but Darren Brownlee sees it back to his goalkeeper, and Nathan Shepherd has released Archie Davies with acres of space in front of him, which he'll chew up here. Davies. Now it's Kelly. Davies continues his run. Horgan always has that check over his shoulder to have a look at what's around him before he receives the ball. Horgan again. Daniel Kelly wants it this right hand side if Horgan can find the pass, but here's Hayden Muller instead. Now Shepherd. That chance for Pedro Mateo, the best that Sligo have had in this first half, John, just before indeed Dundalk went in front with a similar chance for Daniel Kelly. Yeah,
they'd be very disappointed it didn't go ahead with there. Again, it was a wonderful ball in, and all he had to do is get on target, and you think he's going to score. And Dundalk, very similar opportunity up the other end, and they've gone ahead.
Sligo Rovers free kick.
Just looking from a Dundalk perspective, Daryl Horgan, he's dropping very, very deep and wide to get on the ball. I think Dundalk need to lift it to get him on that area, just in front of the D in that 10, and get it in more dangerous positions. But he's got to find space, he's got to work hard, get into that little pocket, and then you hope to see his creativity. But he's getting it in, getting a lot of the ball, but not in dangerous positions.
Radisajevic slips it forward for Browning. Still Browning. Now Bulger. Gets it back from Radisajevic, and now Cawley. What options does he have in the middle? Branafalk is getting in there, but poor delivery by Stefan Radisajevic, or Greg Bulger rather.
Bulger. Done really well, Bulger. One in the middle, a couple of little 1-2s on the left hand side, and he's thrown Cawley out of the way. I think Cawley was offside, so he's driven into the box and he just took his eye off the ball, and that's one he won't want to see again.
Still Cork 1, UCD 0. Shelburne 0, Shamrock Rovers 1. And no score so far at Richmond Park. St Pat's 0, Bohemians 0. Hayden Muller wins a good flick on, and Ryan O'Kane is onto it. Daniel Kelly in the middle. O'Kane, he's managed to smuggle it past Pineacker and then loses awareness of where the ball is, really. That'll be a throw into Dundalk.
You see there, even Dundalk had set up for that kick out. They pushed Muller on, dropped Horgan back. Muller wins the flick on. And O'Kane gets through, and again he's just caught the ball under his feet.
Here's Horgan to Hubert. Just can't link up with O'Kane, and it's Sligo who bring it away. Free kick is conceded by Greg Sloggett. John Mahan, the player fouled. Here's Greg Bulger. Loose pass, Cawley makes something of it. Now it's Browning. Branifog round the corner towards Marteo. Dundalk momentarily had it back. Now it's Sligo with Bulger. Branifog. Muller had a nick on him, and Ryan O'Kane unhappy with the challenge of Branifog. It'll be a Dundalk free kick.
It has to be a yellow card. It's very similar to the one Dundalk got punished for earlier on. Ryan O'Kane skipped away, but and then he pulls him back with the jersey. It has to be a yellow card.
Only yellow card in the game so far is by the name of Louis Ansley in the referee's notebook.
Thoroughly deserved at that.
Absolutely. Here's Pat Hubin. Pineacker. Marteo. Really good control by Marteo, but he's lost out. And now it's Horgan. Daniel Kelly steps inside and away from Morahan, and he's found Ryan O'Kane. Horgan. Archie Davies wants it. This is Davies. Davies wraps his boot around that again, away by Morahan. Helped on by Cawley. Ansley. Dundalk looking to build some pressure at the end of this half. Here's Daniel Kelly. Now it's Sloggett. Sloggett's cross in is cut out by Pineacker at the front post. Just get the feeling something's building here for Dundalk. Throw in.
You can see Dundalk, they're so much better when they move it quick and it's one touch, it's into space.
Davies. Let's come off Sloggett. Davies has done well to keep it in play. Well, momentarily he had. Throw into Sligo Rovers.
Dundalk, look, Dave, I don't think Sligo are too far away either. They have a good template there to get the ball in to Marteo. He's holding it up well, and then they get runners off him.
Inside the final minute of the opening 45. It's been relatively low-key stuff at Oriel Park. Just a one goal between the teams. Daniel Kelly on 10 minutes the difference. Throw in taken quickly by Cawley. Branifog is after it. Louis Ansley leaves his position to come across with the Swede. Branifog got the cross in. Headed away by Muller. It'll break for Cawley. Cawley's shot is deflected. And Nathan Shepherd has to stretch to collect that underneath his crossbar.
Again, really good ball in from Sligo. Branifog this time has swapped wings and he just got in that yard of space and whipped in a wonderful ball. Just couldn't fall with Sligo ahead, and decent strike by Cawley. Just took a deflection and took the sting out of it into Shepherd's hands. But the Dundalk are comfortable at 1-0, but they still look vulnerable when the ball's played in behind them.
1 minute of time added on at the end of this first half, and Dundalk have a free kick. John Mahan climbing over the back of Pat Hubin. Ryan O'Kane stands over the free kick. Perhaps a last chance at the end of this first half for Dundalk to extend the lead and give them a comfortable advantage to carry into the half-time break. In the dressing room, O'Kane, what can he deliver from this one? Just one man in the Sligo Rovers wall. In towards Louis Ansley, not able to make a connection on it. And the ball breaks kindly for Conor Walsh.
Much better ball in that time of Ryan O'Kane. Just good pace on it, just beat the first man, and it can cause trouble. That time Ainsley just couldn't get enough on to trouble Walsh in the goal.
There you go, that's the last action of the first half. A comfortable save for Conor Walsh from that free kick, but nothing comfortable about the only goal of the game so far. Daniel Kelly with it on 10 minutes, making things difficult for Sligo in this first half. They had a similar outstanding chance just before that Dundalk goal. We'll have a look at some of the highlights from the first half here, which surely will include that chance for Pedro Marteo before Daniel Kelly opened the scoring on 10 minutes. But at the break here, it is Dundalk 1, Sligo Rovers 0. Great chance for Marteo. This is that chance for Marteo, John.
Yeah, it's a wonderful ball in it. Initially, I thought he should have scored the first header. It was Lucas Browning, he seemed to duck underneath it, and then when it's fallen to Marteo at the back post, you just expect the net to rustle.
And this
Dundalk
made them pay.
Yeah, very similar. 2 minutes later, Dundalk up the other end. Good bit of play. Horgan's finds a bit of space out to Craig Sloggett. He's played a lovely little ball out. And Archie Davis done as he's done all season long. He's got a yard of space. Lovely little dink ball. And there's Dan Kelly at the back post to head home into the empty net. Great goal from Dundalk, but again, from Sligo's perspective, Dan Kelly shouldn't be getting that much space inside the 6-yard box.
Another angle on that Daniel Kelly goal. Archie Davies lifting it to the back post. Sligo, they have tried to make something happen as that first half progressed. The goal early on in 10 minutes. Pedro Marteo with the initial effort then. And the Radasajevic effort that's just over the crossbar. Decent opportunity, or certainly a decent effort by the Faroese.
Yeah, it was a really good effort. He shaped his body, just put it into that far top corner, just a couple of inches too high. And if you take those two chances and compare what Dundalk have, they have the goal, but they haven't really created any clear-cut chances since the goal. It's been a bit of a drab affair, shall we say. Both teams seem to be lacking a bit of intensity, so I don't think either manager would be particularly happy going in at half-time. That's
it at Oriel Park at half-time. It's Dundalk with the half-time advantage. Stay with us, we will be back with the second half very shortly indeed, but at the break it's Dundalk 1, Sligo Rovers 0. Welcome back to our coverage from Oriel Park. Dundalk against Sligo Rovers here. Dundalk with the half-time advantage. That Daniel Kelly goal on 10 minutes, the difference between the teams. As Hayden Muller looks to be carrying something of an injury. He's just hobbling back out. Looks like he's okay to continue. He's operating at left back this evening for Dundalk. Darren Brownlee and Louis Ansley, the two centre backs for the Lily Whites. And it'll be Dundalk to get us back underway here. Greg Sloggett will have the first touch of the second half. And John, what do you imagine the half-time discussions were like in each dressing room at the break?
Well, you imagine from a Dundalk perspective, first thing, he'll want a bit more urgency, a bit more intensity into the team. They've been very lacklustre. Maybe move the ball a bit quicker and get forward quicker. From a Sligo perspective, I don't think John he'll be overly disappointed in how they've been defensively. They've been comfortable enough out of possession. But he'd probably look for them to get forward a little bit more and help Marteo. He's done well in flick-ons. He's held it up quite well, but he's going to need people up there surrounding him. And you feel if Sligo can get forward with a bit more purpose, that they can hurt Dundalk.
Pinecker waits for that one and meets it powerfully. Conor Malley, Greg Sloggett picks himself up off the ground and has the ball at his feet, and now it's Brownlee and Ansley. Can't quite link up with Pat Hubin. Hubin might get onto this loose one, but Browning gets there first, and now Pinecker lifts one behind Archie Davies. Dundalk appealing for an offside against Radasajevic, who's kept that in play. Here is the Faroese. Plays it back for Morahan in support. Morahan to Mahan. That's a heavy touch by Mahan, and Darrell Horgan's the first player to it. Not the most cultured of passes forward by Darrell Horgan. Here's Pat Hubin. Handball against the Galwegian. Referee spotting the infringement.
It was poor by Darrell Horgan. He read the pass quite well, and his first touch was excellent to bring it under control, and he just got to volley it forward, and Ryan O'Kane's in behind the Sligo defence all by himself, but he's ballooned it into the sky.
John Mahan with the crossfield ball towards Radasajevic. And well, Daniel Kelly is being sanctioned here for his challenge, and Free kick to Sligo. Daniel Kelly can't quite understand the decision. It will be a free kick to the visitors. Niall Morahan, the player on the receiving end.
Yeah, initially it looked harsh. It looked as if he won the ball and kicked it off Morahan, but we'll see it probably in the replay.
Looked like Daniel Kelly got there first.
Yeah, look, he won the ball. He kicked it up. Maybe the ref has punished him for his follow through.
Brannan Falk will take the resultant free kick, but not from there. Adriano Reale sending him back a further yard. What can the Swede do with this one now? Both arms in the air. What does that mean for teammates? What was worked on the training ground? We're about to find out. Brannan Falk with the ball in towards Cawley. It's won by Daniel Kelly back there. Atoning for the concession of the free kick. Here's Morahan. Clips one across towards John Mahan, who's trying to cause physical problems for Aidan Muller. And Mahan has taken that full in the face. It'll be a Dundalk throw in. Referee checking on the welfare of Mahan. 23-year-old central defender. Looks like he's okay to continue, and Aidan Muller will get us back underway. Pat Hubert hooks one into the Sligo half. Pynacker needs to be careful. Daniel Kelly bearing down upon him. Now Niall Morahan. Here's Conor Walsh. Walsh has given that away to Davies. Conor Malley. Darrell Horgan was the intended recipient. Sloggett. Now Davies. Now Malley. Here's Brownlee. Dundalk in control of the ball and in control of the game on the scoreline. Goal to nil. Horgan. Mahan at his back. Horgan's done well to find Ryan O'Kane. Levac though dispossesses him, and here's Brannan Falk. He's got Matteo in the middle. Brannan Falk's cross in. Brownlee meets it and sends it away to safety. Good defending by the big Scot.
There was good play by Brannan Falk on the right hand side. He's put in a decent ball. Matteo just gambled on the back post if he had made a run across.
Cawley. Greg Sloggett making things difficult. Dundalk throw in. Sligo looking to respond to that defeat last week to St Patrick's Athletic. Undone in the first half at the showgrounds. Chris Forrester and Sam Curtis on the mark for the Saints. Dundalk looking to respond to that 1-1 draw against Shelbourne on Sunday. Here's Brannan Falk now. Can he find the cross for Sligo? Good shape on it, but Archie Davies is there to head it away. Maybe not in the direction he intended. Hubin protects it and holds on to it, and that's loose by Hubin, and he's fortunate in that he was fouled by Browning, perhaps foolish by Browning, and he's going to be yellow carded from the referee. He had Pat Hubin in all sorts of trouble just outside his own penalty area.
He done well, Pat. Really good upper body strength. He just spun Browning, and then he'd looking to put Daniel Kelly in down the right hand side, so probably a good tactical foul by Browning if you wanted to look at it that perspective.
Lucas Browning, a winter signing from Dalkurd in Swedish football. He's represented both Ireland and Sweden at underage level. He was actually born 22 miles from here in Drogheda before his family moved to Sweden when he was just 2.
Don't want to say anything with that. I'll get slagged for being from Drogheda.
You've no Swedish blood in you, John, anyway, that's for sure. Throw in to Sligo Rovers. Frank Levac. David Cawley doing plenty of running, not saving energy for his testimonial tomorrow. Here's Nando Pynacker. Important work for Cawley and Sligo to do here in Oriel Park this evening. They have to retrieve that goal disadvantage. They won't do it like that. They've given it away. Greg Bulger has, and here's Hubert. Hubert looking for the run of Darrell Horgan. It's been well read by Levac. Browning sends it into the Dundalk half, and Louis Ansley, with an uncomfortable looking piece of defending, has given away the throw in, which is taken quickly by Branifolk. Coley for Branifolk again.
It's one of those occasions, you're just telling the centre half, just go win your header, just put it into the stand, we'll regroup, get our shape back.
Now here's Hubin. Browning was afraid to make a challenge, and it's wasted by Dundalk.
Both sides guilty in this game of getting into that position just in the final third and either making the wrong choice, the wrong decision, or poorly executing a pass.
Cork City 1, UCD 0, the latest at Turner's Cross still. Shelburne 0, Shamrock Rovers 1 still, and St Patrick's Athletic Bohemians 0, still the scoreline at Richmond Park. Here's John Mahan. Bulger, they've worked that to Frank Levac for Bulger again. What options does he have? He's Niall Moorhan, left hand side.
It's lovely play by Sligo.
Worked that well to Browning. Matteo is in the middle. Coley getting up as well. Cross comes in. Darren Brownlee is in the way. Here's Ryan O'Kane. Branifolk will try and nick it away from him, but he's only succeeded in fouling the Dundalk youngster.
It's a lovely pass to play there from Sligo, right back from the goalkeeper, and they worked it out. Had a nice early crisp passes from one side to the other. And a decent ball into the box as well, with good defending by Brownlee.
Sligo's away form doesn't offer much encouragement for those of a Sligo persuasion hoping for their side can get back into this one tonight. Only Cork City and UCD have worse away records this year. They've won just 3 times on the road in 2023, but one of those wins was here against Dundalk. That win in April. So some hope in that perhaps for the Bitter Red as Morahan clears his lines. Brownlee's header. Here's Coley. O'Malley making things awkward for him. Darrell Horgan gets back there, and the Shepherd can't handle this. His control though is sound, and his clearance gets good distance on it. Pat Hubin felt he was being fouled. Referee says no. Hubin doesn't continue the protestations. It's a mistake by John Mahan rather, almost. Here's Coley. Now Levac. Now Pinecker. Sligo, plenty of the ball at the start of this second half, but unable, as has been evidenced by that crossfield ball, to do much with it just yet. Nathan Shepherd, not tested by Sligo in the game really just yet, when they did have an opportunity to test it. Pedro Marteo put his very, very presentable effort wide. Here's Malley. Mind you, the Duck haven't asked many questions of Conor Walsh either, but they do have the league goal crucially.
You know, with both fullbacks tucking in centrally for Dundalk tonight, they're very slow moving the ball out to the wide areas then.
Ansley. O'Kane. Smart turn by O'Kane. Still Ryan O'Kane. Slug it. Now Davies. Daniel Kelly is wide right. Here he is now. Kelly slips away from Moorhan. Kelly now for O'Kane, who's stayed in a central position. Ryan O'Kane jinks one way, then the other, and then the shot straight down the throat of Conor Walsh.
That's better play from one side to the other from Dundalk. Ryan O'Kane very involved out to Dan Kelly. Ball back to O'Kane, the edge of the box, and he's turned onto his weaker left foot. Decent strike, half blocked, and good hands by young Walsh and goal. It'll give him a bit of confidence going into the second half. But both sides are guilty of being lethargic and slow in their passing, and when both sides move it quickly, they look dangerous. It just seems to be the game lacking a spark. Here's one for Sligo.
There's Coley, who slipped in behind, defending for Brownlee to do, which, as he's done most of the evening, he's done in a pretty no-nonsense fashion, unsuccessfully. Louis Ansley has sent that out. John Flanagan's expecting to get a touch on that one. Sligo Rovers throw it. Dundalk with players warming up on the far side. So too Sligo. Branifolk. O'Malley is hesitant, so too is Ansley. Ball is sent in towards Radasajovic. It was Matteo with the overhead cross. Here's Niall Morahan. And Daniel Kelly with more excellent defensive work on that right wing. Cawley. Now Morahan. Chance to cross this in. Once again, Brownlee is there to get something on it. He's put it behind though for a corner kick for Sligo Rovers.
It's a really good ball in, and Brownlee just about got a touch in it. Took it off Matteo's head, but Sligo was starting to ask a few questions now, Dundalk. And down this left hand side between Shepherd, Ainsley, Muller, there seems to be lack of communication and not a whole lot of organisational skills on display.
Branagh Falk with the corner kick for the visiting side. Branagh Falk's corner, right footed, out swinger. John Mahan throws himself at it. It's come off a Dundalk player last though. And gone behind, another corner kick for the Swede to deliver.
It's Greg Sloggett yet again, getting his body in the way and just putting John Mahan off.
Dundalk with defending to do. Sligo looking for an equaliser. Branagh Falk with the delivery. Hubin it is this time in the way for Dundalk. Greg Bulger is being pressurised by O'Kane. Morahan comes to help him out. Here's Malley and Dundalk now with a chance to spring forward. O'Kane has Kelly just ahead of him, and he's slipped that into the path of Kelly. If he can keep it in play, he can't. Just too much pace on it by O'Kane. But there were real possibilities for Dundalk then.
There was, and again, O'Kane, he's just delayed the pass a little bit too long. He just wanted to give it early, give Daniel Kelly every chance to get in behind the fullback and attack the Sligo defence, but the pass is delayed, and then the quality of the pass in behind is just overhead, and it comes to nothing yet again.
Sligo making a couple of changes. First is Branagh Falk, who'll make way to be replaced by Fabrice Hartman, and Carl O'Sullivan comes in for David Cawley. So David Cawley in for Carl O'Sullivan, and Fabrice Hartman into the game as well to replace Johan Branagh Falk. Double change.
And Cawley just seems to be holding his hamstring there last minute or two, maybe a little bit tight.
So Hartman into the match, as is Carl O'Sullivan. Here's Darrell Horgan. Now O'Kane. Hubin wanted it delivered, and O'Kane holds on to it. Too long for the Glaswegians' liking. He's managed to smuggle away past Levac, and now the cross does come in, and it is towards Hubin, but the pace taken out of it by the deflection.
Yeah, in the end, there was really good play by Ryan O'Kane. He's twisted this way, twisted that way, and showed great feet get down the outside. And he's put in a really good ball with his left foot. Hubin just a little behind and just couldn't steer it back on goal. You just said yourself, he'd made that early run, he wanted the ball in early.
Darren Brownlee is caught by, I presume, a flailing arm by Pedro Marteo, who looks bemused by the decision by the referee.
He seems to just take a disliking to Marteo tonight. He's getting barged in the back, he's getting pushed early from both centre halves, and he seems to be the one getting punished.
Pedro Marteo signed until the end of the season, but Sligo do have an option to extend that if things go well. Still making his complaints and appeal to the referee. Not too sure what the referee has seen then. Certainly looked a soft yellow card against Pedro Marteo. Might get another look at it in a moment.
All you can think of is there might have been a swinging arm, but from where we're sitting in the replay, it looks as if he's been harshly dealt with there. Whatever bit of foul, definitely looked as an extremely soft yellow card. I mean, both centre halves and strikers are having a good battle, good physical battle. There's nothing untoward happening from either side.
Goal kick for Dundalk. Nathan Shepherd in a hurry to get the ball back from the Dundalk ball boys. He wants a second goal in this one for the Lily Whites. Might just need it. Slenderest of margins between the teams.
Once again, it's a strange setup from the kickouts there. Ansley's picked it up and Muller's sprinted inside, and then Dundalk have absolutely nothing out on the left hand side there to move the ball.
We will have another look at that yellow card in just a moment for Pedro Marteo. Here's Darrell Horgan. Pat Hoopen. Pat Hoopen's fouled, is he, by John Mahon? No, the referee says play can continue. Mahon has won that one back. Here's Browning. Now it's the substitute, Carl O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan looking to use his pace down that left hand side. Ball has gone out off a Dundalk player. Throw into Sligo. Here is that yellow card incident. John, get a better look at it from this angle. Doesn't look much more than an obstruction, yeah.
He looks as if he's doing what all good strikers do. He's seen the ball coming and trying to get his body in between the ball and the centre half.
Free kick to Sligo Rovers. Shed below us. Half-hearted attempts to get a drum going and get some atmosphere going. It's very dead inside Oriel Park this evening, and Dundalk, with just that single goal advantage, are vulnerable here. Stephen O'Donnell would rather Dundalk had more control of this game than they're exerting at the moment. Sligo with another chance to maybe get an equalising goal. It's fizzed in towards the front post, and Nathan Shepherd has put that behind for a corner kick to Sligo Rovers.
Great delivery, I think it was Fabrice Hartman that time. Great pace, put it into the area of the front post, and Shepherd had to deal with it. But Dundalk, as you mentioned, they haven't really threatened Sligo. They've been lethargic, they've been down gears, and if they don't buck up, they're going to be punished.
Here's the corner kick, an outswinger towards Browning. Horgan is the player that's there in a white shirt. Levac at his shoulder. Conor Malley. O'Kane looks to get the flick on it. Bulger wins it and plays it off of O'Kane, out for a throw into Sligo. Looks like Dundalk are preparing a substitution. Johannes Ulikoko has been told to get to his feet, getting some instruction. Here's Bulger. Bulger, that's a good ball. Radisajevic, can he find a player in red arriving in there? There was a player arriving, was a Radisajevic coming in off that left hand side. Dundalk deal with it.
The Sligo showing that they're
still a threat. Rather, yeah.
It was a great ball in. Radisajevic again.
Sligo have it again now. Levac, Darrell Horgan doing his defensive work. Johannes Ulikoko has been sent up to do some more strenuous warm-up exercises. Sligo continue to play. Horgan has it now. Not much ahead of him. Pat Hoopen is in a deep position. No one on the halfway line. No out ball for Horgan, certainly.
I think Ulikoko might come on into that midfield tree to try and give a bit of energy, a bit of impetus. So either Darrell Horgan will be put out wide, or young O'Kane will come off, because Horgan not really having any influence on the game at the moment.
Good news for Sligo Rovers and Drogheda United. UCD have an equaliser against Cork City at Turner's Cross. Danu Kinsella Bishop with the goal on 66 minutes. 1-1 at Turner's Cross. Here's Hayden Muller now. Horgan ahead of him. Muller to slug it. Archie Davies. Davies looking to pick out the run of Daniel Kelly. Morahan, though, who looks accomplished as a left back, reads things very well. Another free kick conceded by Dundalk, this time by Conor Malley, and Dundalk will take the opportunity to send in the Finn. Johannes Ulikoko. Turns 22 later this month. Johannes Ulikoko, as Darrell Horgan makes way. So Ulikoko in for Darrell Horgan, unable to have the impact on the game that he might have wanted.
Definitely doesn't look back up to full speed yet. He looks as if he hasn't played in a while. We all know how good he can be.
Sligo Rovers free kick, is it? I think handball against Hayden Muller. Referee, yeah, encouraging. Hartman to place this ball for a free kick now. No danger for Nathan Shepherd's defence to deal with. Fabrice Hartman on loan from German Bundesliga side RB Leipzig since last July. Hartman, left-footed delivery into the front post. Malley is there, not cleared really. And a free kick against Sligo. And Dundalk can breathe a sigh of relief, and Dundalk supporters can breathe a sigh of relief.
He puts in a lovely ball, Hartman. He puts so much pace on the ball, and it caused Dundalk difficulty every opportunity.
His loan spell with the club was extended at the end of last month to run until the end of June next year. Good news for Sligo supporters. He's a talented lad, Fabrice Hartman. 3 goals this season for the German. Here's Conor Malley. Malley forced to go the other way by O'Sullivan. Now Sloggett. Sloggett tries to do too much and Bulger has nicked it away. Can't quite release Radisajevic. Levac gets there before O'Kane. Hartman, here's Levac again. Levac is away from Uli Coco and he's into the penalty area and he's gone down. And that's a big call for the referee. He had a good look at it, Adriano Reale.
Hayden Muller looks at a lot of discomfort here.
And the referee will stop the play.
Looks as if he twisted his knee when he got caught with the ball under his feet, but Dundalk very, very fortunate there. That could have easily been given as a penalty. He's given the referee a decision to make there. Uli Coco challenge from behind. Looks as if it was a tangle of legs, and I don't think Dundalk could have argued.
Here it is, John. Johannes Uli Coco on the back of Frank Levac, and I'd like another look at that. Here's Johannes Uli Coco in on Levac. He'd beaten the Finn. And I think that's a penalty kick in the eyes of another referee.
It's a penalty kick for me. Levac done well. He got his body in between Uli Coco and the ball, and there's been a tangle of legs. It's a penalty for me, but the referee hasn't given it. Dundalk extremely fortunate there.
I think John Russell, he was speaking before the game about the blows that his side have had, you know, off the pitch with players leaving and during games, and that might have been another one. That's a decision that might well have gone the way of Sligo Rovers.
The referee didn't look interested at all.
Not for a second. It didn't.
I think he must.
And there wasn't much of a complaint, I don't think, from Sligo, was there?
Not enough. The only one given it was Greg Bulger, but he gives it at every decision, so it's hard to know which ones he's really vociferous about. I think the ref must have thought Uli Coco got a touch on the ball rather than the Sligo attacker. But it's come from the Dundalk fullback tucking into the midfield areas where they're not used to being, trying to take too much out of the ball, and he gets caught. He's actually injured himself trying to doing a pirouette. You see him here just tucking into the midfield. He's picked it up, and there's his left knee just collapsed under him.
Darragh Leahy coming into the game to replace Hayden Muller. Leahy was actually sent off against Sligo at the showgrounds last August. So Leahy into the game for the Lily Whites. Looks like the referee will return the ball to Sligo Rovers. Less than 20 minutes, 19 and a half minutes of normal time remaining. Sligo have the ball. Conor Walsh.
Dundalk supporters finally realise that Dundalk are in a fight here tonight, and they're doing their best to get them up from under us.
Here's Hubin. Struggled to get into it tonight, Pat Hubin, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's done well initially at winning that initial ball, but his actual distribution has been off by his own high standards. He hasn't had the influence on the game that you would expect. I think just as we say that, John Martin's going out to warm up.
Here's Archie Davies. Hubert. Greg Sloggett loses out. Browning, now Pineacker, Mahan. It's a really good ball by Mahan, and Levac can test Leahy's pace here. Here is the Faroese with the cross in. Brownlee, well positioned once again to get that away. And Frank Levac just giving Darragh Leahy a warning on what he'll have to face in the remaining 18 minutes plus time added on. Sligo with the ball again here. Here's Hartman, loses out though to the sub on the opposite side, Johannes Ulikoko. Now Pat Hubert, and now Daniel Kelly. Ryan O'Kane has space on the left hand side. It would take a hell of a ball to find him, and that isn't a hell of a ball. Here's Pat Hubert, he's onto it though. Hubert, once he got around him, Ryan O'Kane looking to move away. Hartman working back. Ulikoko tries to win it back, but it's Sligo who have it. Radasajevic, lovely turn away from Ansley. That'll be a free kick to Sligo. Ansley already on a yellow card, needs to be careful.
I think that last little attack just summed up what we were saying about Pat Hooven there. Initially done really well, great bit of skill in the edge of the box, and when it's fall he's tried to slip Ryan O'Kane in, but it's a poor ball. It's just not all coming together for him.
Wexford 1, Kerry 2 in the first division. Waterford 2, Galway United 1. Finn Harp's losing to Treaty at the moment. Here's Levac. Now Conor Walsh. Archie Davies happy to hold Carol O'Sullivan off it and see it out for a throw in to Dundalk. More changes on the way. Greg Bulger, his evening is over. Rhys Hutchinson comes back after a lengthy absence for Sligo Rovers due to an Achilles injury. And Caelan Barlow will come into the game, and he will replace number 19 Lucas Browning. So Caelan Barlow in, Rhys Hutchinson into the match as well. So a double change for John Russell. One thing you can say about Sligo, they may not be doing too well at the moment, but the quality of the substitutes that they have available to them are decent, aren't they, John?
Yeah, you look at the options coming on there. There's definitely quality coming on and plenty of attacking threat coming on. They're not giving this up by any stretch, and Dundalk aren't really doing themselves any favours. Like Fabrice Hartman coming on is as good as anybody.
Greg Slogger can only head that back in field, and that's a shot on the turn by Marteo. Nathan Shepherd, comfortable enough for the Welsh goalkeeper in the end, but looked to be plenty of pace on the shot from Marteo.
Good strike, plenty of confidence as the ball falls. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He wants to just get it up and over Shepherd, just didn't get the connection he wanted, but plenty of confidence and a good strike on target.
Still Cork 1, UCD 1, Shelbourne 0, Shamrock Rovers 1, St Pat's 0, Bohemians 0. Here's Malley. Ulikoko can't gather it in. Mahan. Now it's Radasajevic trying to slip that behind Darragh Leahy for the on-running Hartman. Nathan Shepherd has sent that up into the evening air. Ryan O'Kane with some delicious control, but two players around him in red, and they've forced him to concede the throw in here. Less than 15 minutes of the 90 remaining. It's Sligo who are asking the questions at the moment, but once again still not testing Nathan Shepherd really. Morahan wraps his foot around that, and Nathan Shepherd comes and claims before Carl O'Sullivan can do any damage.
But again, even that ball in behind the Dundalk defence last year, we were so used to Shepherd with his high starting position, sweeping them up, mopping them up all day. He seems reluctant to be on his front foot.
Shepherd with the clearance. Mahan in front of Hubert to get it away. Brownlee. O'Kane trying to hassle Levac into an error, but the Sligo Rovers right back in control of things. Here's Marteo. Sligo have had much of the ball in the second half. We still haven't seen all that much of the Portuguese outside of that shot a few moments ago. Here he comes again now, Marteo. Drills the cross in across the face of Nathan Shepherd's goal. And that was alarming from Dundalk supporters' perspective. Some gasps from the shed below us.
It's a fabulous ball out. Fabrice Hartman just nodding it out, and he's just absolutely drilled the half right across. No, not a 6-yard line, 2 or 3 yard line. And unfortunately, from Sligo's perspective, nobody in there to tap into an unguarded goal. But the Dundalk back four, they look very panicky. They look under pressure. Even that chance coming from Ansley just skewing across that a long clearance. He'd no need to.
Alfie Lewis and John Martin being prepared by the Dundalk manager. Here's O'Kane. Levac at his back. O'Kane still. And that ball's come off the Dundalk player last. Well, the throw-in has gone the way of Dundalk. Fabrice Hartman frustrated. Dundalk throw-in. Here's Hubin. Hubin has given that away. Reece Hutchinson giving it away too. Now Nathan Shepherd. Uli Coco with the chest down to Kelly. Kelly. He's done well, Daniel Kelly. Invites Darragh Leahy onto it. Returns it for Kelly again. Now Davies. Sloggett. Malley slips between two players in red. Still Malley. Now it's Daniel Kelly. His attempted pass forward blocked by Pinecker. Dundalk throw in. Davies in no hurry to take it. Here's Archie Davies. Ryan O'Kane. Pat Hubin is in the middle as ever. Still O'Kane. Ghosting across the middle. O'Kane still with the ball. Uli Coco. He's been fouled, has he? Referee says no. Sligo will bring it away. Well, they'll try to. Greg Sloggett has won it back, and now a free kick has been awarded to Sligo. Taken quickly by Pinecker. Here's O'Sullivan now. O'Sullivan. Sligo with players forward in this attack. Can they utilise them and find a way past Nathan Shepherd for an equaliser? And it goes from Hutchinson directly into the hands of the Dundalk goalkeeper.
Disappointing for Sligo. It's a good quick break, but when the ball's coming to Hutchinson, he's just lobbed it into Shepherd's hands. I think Uli Coco went down quite easily on the edge of the box the last time, and Sligo, rightly so, didn't give away a free kick.
Pinecker gets the nick on it. Uli Coco claims for a free kick from Dundalk supporters. Nothing doing, according to the referee. Here's O'Sullivan now up against Davies, and Davies has won that individual battle for the moment. Now Shepherd. We're into the final 10 minutes of the 90. Dundalk 1, Sligo Rovers 0. It's been that scoreline since the 10th minute of the game. Daniel Kelly, the difference between the sides at the moment. Hutchinson hooks it away. Conor Malley. Now Louis Ansley with space to chew up. O'Kane. Frank Levac shepherding his every move. The Estonian. Now Nathan Shepherd. Those two Dundalk substitutes still awaiting their chance to come into the game. Lewis and Martin. Pinecker's out in front of Hubin. Ansley's header. Malley. Clever touch by Malley to find Sloggett. And now Davies. Here's Kelly. Malley again. It's a lovely ball to the feet of Ryan O'Kane, but Frank Levac in the way. Wexford 2, Kerry 2 in the First Division. Here's Hartman.
Done really well, Levac, the second half. He looks very comfortable, Ryan O'Kane.
Pat Hubin trying to reverse one towards Ryan O'Kane. You could see what he was trying to do. McCain not on the same wavelength. Ball not executed.
Yeah, a bit of both. And that seems to be the problem with Dundalk's attack now. It's just disjointed and poor execution at times.
Darragh Lee just lets that ball over his head and out for a throw in, and we will have those changes. And Greg Sloggett is the first player to be withdrawn in this change. Alfie Lewis. So Lewis into the game. And Pat Hubin will make way for John Martin. John Martin in his most productive spell yet as a Dundalk player, with 3 goals in his last 4 outings and 3 here at Oriel Park. He'll have 8 minutes or so plus time added on, as will Alfie Lewis.
Dundalk could be hoping Alfie Lewis can get on the ball and try and assert a bit of possession, a bit of dominance for Dundalk. And obviously John Martin up front in a rich vein of form. He'll work hard, he has a physical presence, but he also has the legs to get in behind as well.
Leahy's throw. John Mahan wins the header. Conor Malley appeals for handball against John Mahan, but Dundalk have the possession. Referee allows play to continue. Archie Davies' ball forward will break here for Uli Coco. Uli Coco with the shot, and that's over the crossbar.
I think it might be Dundalk's best opportunity the second half, and it's come from a Sligo mistake. Just balls dropped to Uli Coco on the edge of the box. Decent strike, just got over it. And John Mahan wanted to come off Pinocker's back.
Conor Walsh with the goal kick for Sligo. Matteo with the flick on. Ansley is there, he'll see that out for a goal kick for Dundalk. Wasted possession by the bitter red. Alfie Lewis just sitting in front of that Dundalk defence alongside Conor Malley now.
They just haven't found the balance really all season in that midfield department. Dundalk, Alfie Lewis, Paul Doyle, Greg Sloggett, they haven't found that player that Stephen O'Donnell wants, that sitting number 6 that can dictate the play and always be an option and get on the ball.
Here's Leahy now. Uli Coco. Leahy. Conor Malley just waiting on that and allowed, and he's going to be sanctioned here by the referee. Allowed Caelan Barlow in to nick the ball away. Yellow card for Conor Malley.
Again, he's left with no option but to pull Barlow back to prevent the counter attack. But it's a terrible ball in by Darragh Lee. He's given him no chance really.
Attendance this evening 1,947 as Nathan Shepherd claims that one. Here's Archie Davies. 5 minutes left on the clock. Davies with a marauding run forward. Now Daniel Kelly. Kelly's cross is going to test Conor Walsh, is it? Walsh, though, fairly routinely plucks it out of the air.
He's looked comfortable in goals tonight, Walsh. Such a young lad, only his second appearance. His distribution has been good, his handling has been good. He had no chance for the goal.
Here's Walsh again. It's really nicely struck by the young goalkeeper. Caelan Barlow was waiting on that one. Didn't reach him. Here's Alfie Lewis. Time against Sligo now. Martin. Pinacker at his back. Ex-Waterford man wins the throw in for Dundalk. Chance to run down the clock a little bit more for the Lily Whites. Archie Davies in no real hurry forward to take this one. If Sligo don't get something from this one, they'll look back at it. A couple of moments in this game. That headed opportunity for Pedro Marteo, and I think that penalty shout in this second half as well, John, will be another one.
They're very fortunate. I think they probably had the better opportunity out of both sides tonight.
Might have another one here. Conor Malley, he's already been yellow carded. The referee might have another think about that as play continues. Pedro Marteo, that's gone out for a throw in to Sligo Rovers. Carlo Sullivan.
It's a good advantage by the referee, but he's definitely fortunate there, Mali, to get away with that, only recently booked.
Sligo Rovers throw it. Plenty of players forward for this attack. Pineacker will send it in. Will it reach Hartman? Darrell Lee says no, gets it away. Levac sends it back towards Hartman. The German just lifts it into the danger area. Nathan Shepherd alive to the danger though.
We've seen this so many times in Oriel this season. The Duck hanging on at the end, the energy goes out of the game and they end up conceding a soft goal. So hopefully, from their point of view, they don't do that this evening.
John Martin, can he keep that in play? He can't quite. Goal kick for the visitors. Cork City 1, UCD 1, still the score at Turner's Cross. Shelburne 0, Shamrock Rovers 1, still the score at Tolka Park. And St Pat's 0, Bohemians 0. Good result for Dundalk if things stay as they are, with St Pat's and Bohemians dropping points as Johannes Ulikoko goes clear. Players back though in red as he tries the shot from the angle. Ulikoko, that Conor Walsh gets down comfortably to save, I think it's fair to say.
He done well again. Walsh, good hands, but Ulikoko probably the wrong decision. If he just holds it up, he's John Martin supporting him, but from a Sligo point of view, good defending. I think it was Pineacker blocked the initial shot and Walsh then comfortable.
Shelburne losing to Shamrock Rovers 2 alongside St Pat's and Bohemians dropping points against each other. Those points being dropped by Shelburne if it stays as it is in that match against Shamrock Rovers. Good night for Dundalk in that respect. Again, if Dundalk can see it out here.
If they can see it out, but they're not very comfortable at the moment. But yeah, they have to keep closing that gap week on week. And the way this league is going this season, everybody's taking points off each other. So whoever can put together a string of results, 3, 4, 5 victories in a row, put you right out that table.
Dundalk potentially moving in 3 points behind Bohemians in third place as things stand. 4 behind St Patrick's Athletic if things stay as they are in all these games. All these matches in the final moments as we are here at Oriel Park. We're inside the final minute and that'll be a free kick. Nando Pineacker in too much of a hurry to win that ball back against John Martin. Free kick to Dundalk and a chance to chew up a few more seconds.
It's an aspect of his game, John Martin. He's improved an awful lot. His upper body strength has come on and he's linking the play, holding it up very, very well. Pinacker's, he's not winning that ball and he's no chance of winning. He's going to shepherd him back, make him go backwards. He's giving a foul away and it's eating up the clock on Sligo.
Dundalk with 3 players behind the ball. Cautious approach at this stage of the game. Conor Malley, one of them, he'll take the free kick. Just one player forward in red and that's Pedro Marteo, and he'll challenge for this one. Marteo gets the faintest of flicks in it, but it falls for Ansley. Dundalk encouraging Ansley to shoot. He elects instead to play to O'Kane. O'Kane is away from Levac and O'Kane will shoot. Off target though. And we're inside stoppage time and there'll be 5 minutes of that at Oriel Park. Still time for John Russell's team. Still work for Dundalk to do. Marteo with the flick on. O'Kane keeps it in play for Dundalk. Now Malley. Morahan is there before Ulikoko. Nathan Shepherd. Shepherd's clearance. Martin challenging Morahan. Leahy finds Ulikoko and now Davies. It's a good ball by Davies to the feet of Dan Kelly. Kelly. Now Ansley. Leahy in behind John Mahan for John Martin to chase, and Martin has done well to get ahead of his man and win that ball back for Dundalk. Here's Ryan O'Kane. Mahan sticking with him at the expense of a throw-in. Peter Gosling is listening in this evening. Good evening, Peter. If you're listening on LMFM, LMFM.ie. Dundalk leading by a goal to nil here at Oriel Park. Daniel Kelly on 10 minutes, the difference between the teams. And we are 3.5 minutes away from the final whistle in this game. Dundalk need to see it out here. Sligo Rovers need an equalising goal. But will it come? Here's Ryan O'Kane. O'Kane is away from Morahan. Now Alfie Lewis checks over his shoulder, spots Davies, and now Davies has the ball. Daniel Kelly is on his inside. Kelly and Davies combining. Davies is in behind. Davies, can he find the ball? Was looking for Ryan O'Kane on the edge, but Niall Morahan was back there.
And for once, Archie Davies, he chose the wrong option, and John Martin made a great run to the back post. He was all alone.
Here's Levac. He's got Radosajevic to his right hand side. He was looking for Caelan Barlow. Ansley boots it away. Now
Okay.
Nando Pinecker.
Levac again, he's taken just the wrong decision there. Great break by Sligo. The 2 or 3 players in excellent positions, and he's played the wrong pass, and it comes to nothing.
Hutchinson sends it long, and once again Darren Brownlee is in the right place at the right time. He's had a good game this evening for Dundalk.
He's looked very solid. He's just what you want in there, centre half. Just win your headers, win your battle. He's kept his distribution simple.
Someone did describe him before the game as a little bit Mark Connolly like, and
That was me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he does. He you know, he's played at a good level. He looks very composed at the back. He's big and strong. He organises well, and his distribution is usually very, very good. Doesn't try and overcomplicate things.
Hartman with the clearance. Dundalk free kick. Carlo Sullivan unable to bring the ball with him without using his arm. And we have less than 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Dundalk heading for victory against Sligo Rovers. Brownlee standing over the ball, dinks it towards John Martin, holds off Levac, still has the ball. Martin, that's a loose one. Alfie Lewis does manage to get something on it. John Martin has a swipe at it, but Ludi Coco took it away from his boot. And John Martin frustrated by that. Here's Pedro Marteo, and Louis Ansley sends it out. Throw into Sligo. Conor Walsh. John Martin cutting off the pass to Levac. Walsh sends it to the other side, and Daniel Kelly is there, and that's given away cheaply by Kelly, and Pineacker emerges from that tussle with the ball, but he's given it up to Kelly. Morahan, has he played that off of Kelly? No, according to the referee. Dundalk throw in. We're inside the final minute of stoppage time.
You can see what Dan Kelly was trying to do. He was trying to play it in behind Hutchinson with his first touch and get it on the run, but just didn't come off. And then Pineacker again trying something that wasn't on. Both sides guilty of it this evening on so many occasions, giving away possession cheaply.
Referee has shown a yellow card to Carlo Sullivan or Archie Davies. I'm not entirely sure who.
I think he gave to Archie Davies for time wasting. I think he threw away the initial ball that came out of him to take the throw in.
Davies has it again. Another Dundalk throw it. Throws it down the line. Matter of seconds remaining between Dundalk and a win. Really important one too, with tough fixtures to come. Bray Wanderers in the cup away, then it's Shamrock Rovers and Derry City in the league, and we are over the 5 minutes of allotted stoppage time played. And Sligo with a free kick, and they'll bring the goalkeeper from his goal to take it, and he will send this long upfield. It's the last chance saloon for Sligo Rovers. Conor Walsh needs to find a player in red with this long ball forward. Up to the edge of the penalty area it goes. Up rises John Mann. It's broken in there for Caelan Barlow with the shot. And Nathan Shepherd is equal to it. And the whistle will blow. The whistle will sound. And Dundalk have 3 points. It's finished Dundalk 1, Sligo Rovers now. But even at the death, Sligo with a scare for Dundalk that Nathan Shepherd got across his goal and made the save. And Dundalk collect all 3 points.
Very fortunate for the death of Dundalk. Barlow done extremely well in the edge of the box. He took it and he struck the volley lovely. Just wasn't far enough away from Shepherd. Shepherd with a good save. But you can say excellent 3 points to Dundalk tonight, but the performance definitely lacking control, lacking. There's no urgency. They didn't establish possession. The decision making at times was way off. And Sligo, they were in the game. They were equally as good as Dundalk tonight. Definitely deserved something from the game, in my opinion. Between the penalty incident, the chance in the first half, they were unfortunate not to get anything from the game, but at the end of the day, Dundalk won't care. They're the ones with 3 points and climbing up the table.
Climbing up the table indeed. A look at the other scorelines. Cork City 1, UCD 1. That's a final score at Turner's Cross. That's good news, as I said, for Sligo Rovers and for Drogheda United ahead of Cork City. Points dropped by Cork at home to the bottom of the table side. It's a Shelbourne 0, Shamrock Rovers 1. That's a latest score. That one is in stoppage time at the end of the game, as is St Patrick's Athletic 0, Bohemians 0. That's a latest scoreline at Richmond Park. Let's have a look at some of the second half highlights here, John. Really good clearance from Dundalk, this one. Sligo Rovers with a lot of the play in the second half.
I think Sligo, they were the better side in the second half. Some really good balls put in, especially from this right hand side.
Dundalk did have efforts in the second half, not the cleanest perhaps, but they did have a chance. Tanya Kelly with the ball on the right hand side. Ryan O'Kane looking for space on the edge, and when he found it, could only find the hands of Conor Walsh with his effort.
Done well Walsh that and make sure he held on to it.
Ryan O'Kane again, dancing past his man. Pat Hubin unable to get any purchase on his header. This is the big moment of the second half, John.
For me, still think it's a penalty every time you see it. Really, Koku's got in a terrible position there. He hasn't got a touch on the ball and there's a tangle of legs. I thought the referee, he's definitely let Dundalk off, but great strike there by Matteo. Just didn't get enough height and dip on it. But as you see with the highlights, there's more Sligo highlights in the second half than there is Dundalk. Another wonderful ball drilled across from Matteo that side. Dundalk's chances in the second, they're all half chances or scuffed shots from the edge of the box. That's probably the pick of the chances, and it's well over the bar.
Yellow card here by the referee. Again, we're not entirely sure if it was Carlos Sullivan or Archie Davies or somebody on the Dundalk bench.
And then right at the death, ball lumped in, and Dundalk, they were living on the luck. Good touch with Barr, and he's great strike. He's hit that full, and if it had been another foot wider Shepherd, it was going to nest into the top corner.
The only goal of the game, of course, on 10 minutes, John. This is the goal that wins the game for Dundalk. Daniel Kelly with it. And
it was one of the few times Dundalk strung a few passes together and were incisive. Horgan cuts inside, good ball into Craig Sloggett, who's just in a little 10 position. He's played it wide to Archie Davis. He's got down, done as he'd done all night, got down the line, put in a wonderful ball. And John Mahan just lost Dan Kelly at the back post. It heads into an empty goal.
Another angle on that Dundalk goal. Daniel Kelly with his fourth league goal of the season for Dundalk. Archie Davies with, well, I don't know how many assists. Let's just have a look at the scores elsewhere. There has been a change since we last told you the scorelines elsewhere. Shelbourne 1, Shamrock Rovers 1, the latest at Tulka Park. It's Gavin Malloy with the equalising goal for Shelbourne, 4 minutes into stoppage time at the end of that one. Elsewhere it's all finished. Cork City 1, UCD 1, Shelbourne 1, Shamrock Rovers 1, a latest score as I said, and St Pat's 0, Bohemians 0, a good result for Dundalk. Let's have a look at how that affects the league table. Of course, Shelbourne against Shamrock Rovers still ongoing, 1-1 in that game. Dundalk moving to within 3 points of Bohemians by virtue of the fact that Dundalk have won here tonight and Bohemians have only managed to draw against St Patrick's Athletic. And as regards Sligo Rovers, well, they've dropped points here this evening, and well, Cork City are now on 24 points, Sligo Rovers on 30 points. 6 points separate the teams as it stands. One more game to play this weekend. That's on Sunday. Derry City taking on Drogheda United. A match, of course, that you can watch on LOI TV. So that's it from Oriel Park here this evening. Thank you very much to everybody on production and to John Flanagan on co-commentary alongside me this evening. One goal in the game. Daniel Kelly with it on 10 minutes. Sligo Rovers huffed and puffed as much as they could, but couldn't find a way back into the game, and Dundalk win it by that single goal. Final score here from Oriel Park. It's finished Dundalk 1, Sligo Rovers 0.